when last we wandered these myriad plains.
Sing, kiss, speak, a man answers, prefer a woodwoman heart.
A single kiss speaks a woman's heart, but a man's answer is what you would prefer? Very well then, but know this, my answer is a question, and an answer from you is what I would prefer. And still, we journey on. Crazy, crazy chaosman. Alright, let's head on around through here. Collector? Let's speak with this collector, shall we? This man is draped in filthy, tattered brown robes, a long hood concealing most of his face from view. Greetings. You see his eyes narrow beneath his hood, and he takes a step back. What do you want? What are you doing? I'm looking for damned bodies is what I'm trying to do. But you'd think the dead Bowers had packed up their kip and left the plains. The way people are staying healthy and all. There is a sudden gleam in his eye. We had a pox last month, and it was a glorious time. It was bodies stinking to the high heavens, and plenty of jink to be had, too. But why are you looking for bodies? I mean, we know why, but it's an option, so. He looks surprised. Well, you haul the blighters to the mortuary. There you talk to the dusties, haggle a little, and get a few bits of jink. I had some questions. He raises an eyebrow. I've some for ye then. Like, what did you want to know? And how badly did you want to know it? What do you mean? Look around you, Cutter. I don't make enough jink to go lighten up the dark for nothing. It'll take a bit of coin, it will, if you wants the chant. Well, let's give him 5 coppers. He studies the coins for a moment as they lay in his hands. He pockets them swiftly. Ask. I'm looking for a man named Farad. He narrows his eyes suddenly. Farad, what about him? You seem wary. Why? Farad. He spits, sneering contemptuously. Ragpicker Square is Sharegraves. Me boss's territory, see? Farad and his dogs came in a whiles back and tried to oust us. We fought 'em off, we did. So, they're all hiding somewhere now. We still catch one of his lads now and then round the square. Usually, we turn him into a quick spot of jink at the mortuary. The piking sods. Tell me about Sharegrave. He's my boss. Casts his shadow over the whole mess of collectors he does. I'd stay away from him unless you got right good cause to talk to the man. I've never spoken with him personally myself. I'm also looking for a journal I've lost. He shakes his head, puzzled. Farewell then, and thank you. Well, keep yourself safe, Cutter. If I find you on the streets, I'll be kind to your corpse. Goodbye. Even though you gave us nothing but information that we already had.
Done.
Harlots everywhere, and occasionally a drunk. Amaris? That's not a name I remember. You see a young woman dressed in a tight leather bodice with leggings. She smells faintly of cheap perfume, and her face, though pretty, is painted with garish makeup. She smiles coyly as she sees you. Seeking some company, love? No, I had some questions.
Sorry, love. I don't stand here to answer the questions of passersby. Sure you wouldn't like a little company, huh?
No, farewell. Well, that didn't go anywhere at all, did it? Is this just a rooftop? Yes, it is. Anyone else before we head back into the bar? Well, I guess you guys. Let's take quick work of these hive thugs. If we can get at them one at a time, they're no challenge at all.
Endure, your path is mine.
Go for this guy. Oops. All of you, go for this guy. Oh, we've got too many. Let's run. Let's run. Need to take them on one at a time if able. Kite them over here. Alright. Deal with this one. Come on, get him, guys. Good deal. Get this hive thug. The others must be waiting in the fog of war or having pathfinding issues. Getting a ton of bronze rings. Need to find a place to sell this stuff soon.
Done.
Alright, here comes another. Let him get close so we don't aggro a bunch more if possible. Alright, he started to run away.
Done.
Here comes another one. Ooh, there's a Black Abishai or something like that. It's from the Nine Hells.
Did you see that?
No telling what you'll find in the plains. Probably gonna have to adjust my inventory soon. Go ahead and take a look here. Yeah, we are getting full up, so give me a second to transfer some items. Alright. Adjusted the inventory just a little bit. Should be okay for at least a little while.
Done.
Alright, Blood Clot, thank you very much. Harlot. Angry Hive Dwellers. Alright, into the bar. There's lots of interesting NPCs in here to talk to that we didn't discuss or have conversations with last time. The first one I want to find, and I forget where he is the barkeep. See, Mercy Killer Patron? Iquus? I think this may be the bar here. No, here's the bar. Alright. I'm going to do a quick save just so I am sure not to screw the conversation up. If you're doing a playthrough of this on your own, it's always a good idea to save before you talk to NPCs, as there can be dire consequences if you screw something up in conversation.
I don't trust the gift.
Oh, gotta walk behind it?
I could leave it behind.
What more? We're not leaving Dakan behind. He's very useful, okay? You see a leather-skinned man with just a hint of ashen color to his face. His teeth seem sharper than normal, and his eyes are filled with the boredom that comes with having seen too much. His voice is nasal and clipped. You again, eh? What'd you want this time? You again? What do you mean? Yeah, you again. You got a hearing problem or something now? You was in here about 15 years ago, got all bubbed up, smashed up the place, and left a pile of coin that wasn't good enough to pay for the damages. So you plucked out your own bleeding eyeball and tells me you'll be back to reclaim it when you got 200 coins together. With 15 years of interest, you got about 500 coins. You got the jink, pal. I got your eye. 500. That's ridiculous. And why in the name of all that is holy did we try to pay a bar tab with our eye? Ugh. He pauses for a moment, considering. That it is. Tell you what. Give me 300, and the eye's yours. It's a deal. Here's your money. And this is the important purchase I was alluding to earlier. It's a deal. He produces a darkened, wax-stoppered, wide-mouth bottle from his pocket.
You hear the sound of liquid sloshing around inside it, along with a heavier, squishier noise. Why have you been carrying the eye in your pocket all these years? Good God, Barkus. Opening it, the stench of some sort of preservative agent nearly makes you gag. Floating in the viscid muck is an eyeball. Floating in the viscid muck is an eyeball.
You'd better figure out what you want to do with that. Now you've exposed it to the air. You might as well put a pickled egg in the jar for all the good it'll do you. Mind you make up your mind, Cutter. Pickled egg or not.
So I guess we are tearing out our eyeball and taking this one. Maybe it'll give us a memory. Or experience. I'll take that too. With a moment's hesitation, you reach into your socket and pop out your eye into the palm of your hand. The bartender helpfully severs the optic nerve and directs your hand to the jar of goo that sits on the bar. You deposit your eye in the preservative, wrap your fingers around the old one, and slide it into your empty socket. The pain of this entire operation is incredible. After a moment, though, you can feel the optic nerve reattaching itself to this new eye, and suddenly, you are hit by a flash of memory.
Haha, absorb it.
Memory flash. A vast expanse of chaotic, ever-changing wasteland stretching before you. A group of humanoid vultures plummeting towards you. Cruel weapons ready to strike. And your own shining blade clutched tight in your fist. Memory flash. 3 toughs surround you, in the colors of an enemy you can't quite place. Long daggers glisten in their hands, and the light glints cruelly from their exposed teeth. You glance at your scarred hands, and know that soon they'll be covered in blood. Memory flash. An enormous, frog-like creature comes bounding over, through, under, chaos stuff, headed for you with a mouth full of teeth. You hurl your javelin through the shifting matter and pin the creature to a sudden stone plinth. You have recalled some of your lost fighting skills. Awesome. Ask more questions of Marcus.
Hurry it up, will you? I've got paying customers.
Okay. Well, who are you?
Me. I'm Barkus, owner and keeper of this place.
What is this place?
Didn't you see the sign out front? Didn't you see the Burke burning over the furnace when you came in? It's the Smoldering Corpse Cutter. Best damn bub house in Sigil. At least, it's the best damn bub house in this part of the hive, which makes it one of the best in Sigil. Hell, they got fancy places with plants and such in the ladies' ward, and they got fiendish taverns salted around the rest of the hive, but none of them got the character of the Smoldering Corpse.
Whose corpse is it, anyway?
Him? Ignis. He used to be a flame wizard, burned down pieces of the hive, got himself skagged by a bunch of other mages. You want to know more about him? Go talk to Drusilla, down there by the door.
I already have, sir. I'd like to know something more about the place, though.
Hurry it up, will you?
What can you tell me of the patrons here?
I don't make it a point to interfere with the lives of the people who give me their hard-earned jink, unless they ask me to. So, over there is Kandrian, Planeswalker. He's a good one to talk to about any planeswalking questions you might have. He's been pretty much everywhere. Down there is Ebb Creakinus, an old harmonium basher. Don't hold that against him. And a tout. He's got a good heart in him, and he knows Sigil up and down. Them fiends over there are Athelgren and Tevaron. Word of advice, don't deal with them. They might be low rankers in the fiend hierarchy, but they're still fiends. When you got Ilquicks over there, not trustworthy, and some mercy killers looking for some poor sod, Dakan, the Githrazi, the Githzerai, rather. I have a problem pronouncing Githzerai. I often say Githrazi instead. I do apologize. Don't know much about him. He don't talk much. Finally, you interested in earning some free bub?
Yeah, sure.
There's a bubber over against the far wall, hanging out in the shadows, who's been trying to work up her courage to slip out without covering her tab. I want you to make sure she don't do that. You do it, you got free bub here for life.
Okay, I'll do it. But answer me some questions first. I'm looking for a journal.
A journal, paper and words, friend. That sort of thing don't get much stock down here in the hive. Folks here can barely read the sign above the door, much less an entire journal. If you're looking for a journal, you do better to have a system instead of asking folks willy-nilly.
Thanks for the unasked for advice. Answer a different question then. I'm looking for Farad the Collector, and the reason I keep asking about Farad over and over, even though we've already got the answer to where he's most likely at, is that a lot of these people will give us experience when they tell us where he's at, so we're trying to get as much of that as possible. He turns and spits on the floor.
Farad, bah. You may as well turn your back and let him sink a dagger in it. Though, from the looks of you, you already have. If you're dead set on finding Farad, pardon the pun, talk to Eb Creekness over there. He should know something of value.
Eb, the old man? My thanks. Well, we got no experience, but we got lots of information and a quest. Let's do the quest first. Who is this person that he said is trying to sneak out? Oh. Okay, that's an interesting name, I guess. Guess they're in the fog of war. That's Drusilla. Okay. There's just a patron. Looks like we're regenerating. Oh, plucking out our eye, probably. Mokai? Is this who it is? Looks like a dust person. You see someone dressed as a female dustman with a half-empty glass in her right hand. As you near her, she calls out to you. You, over here. You notice that there's something wrong about her, and your exposure to the dustman leads you to believe that she's just too lively to be a real member of the faction. Well, approach her. Hey, Cutter, buy a lady a drink. Barkus says it's time for you to settle your tab. Pay up. She jumps a little, and her nervous tension becomes full-fledged anxiety. What are you going to do? Ask you to pay up. Now. I can't afford it. Can you spot me just 10%? I'll, give it to him and he knows I'll pay the rest. How much do you need? I think I need about 100 coins to get started on that debt. Holy cow, lady, you've drank 1,000, whatever the currency here is, worth of alcohol? What is your problem? All right, we're going to lend her the money because it gives us experience and tilts us toward good, okay? I'll lend you the money. Here, take it and pay up. Now. She pockets your jink, glances briefly toward the door, almost as if she's weighing her chances of dashing out, sighs heavily as she realizes there's no chance, and begins to walk glumly toward the bar. My thanks, I suppose. Don't mention it, and don't even think about heading for the door until you've paid up. All right. And before we collect our experience from that, she has to walk all the way over here at the world's slowest pace. So we'll do other things
All right.
in the meantime.